AJ Storr has committed to Ole Miss. This is AJ Storr's fourth college in 4 years. I believe this is AJ Storr's ninth school in 9 years. That's fascinating. But when it works, it works. He averaged 17 points a game, was an all Big Ten player at Wisconsin 2 years ago. This past season, he averaged 6 points a game, was one of the most underwhelming transfers in the entire country in 1 year under Bill Self at Kansas. And he's looking for maybe one final rebirth before his college career closes. AJ announced this himself on Twitter with a graphic that says committed with the caption, "On my way, ninja emoji, dolphin emoji, devil emoji." Card, do you think this is going to work?
Based off that emoji choice, yes. I think I do. No, but look, I think that AJ Storr showed the ability that he had at Wisconsin, and honestly, like, solid. Is it fair to say solid freshman year?
Like all the way back at St. John's?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
yeah.
so.
So I constitute the bad year as what happened at Kansas. I think you have one really good year of basketball sample size, and then one like solid freshman year, and then Kansas. I really can't I'm still trying to put my finger on exactly why it didn't work. Like I know why it didn't, but for me, and honestly, a Kansas fan could check me on this. It seemed like from the minute that Self had AJ Storr in the fold that he hated him. He just didn't want to really play and not maybe like hated him like AJ Storr the person. He just didn't think that putting AJ Storr on the floor would help his basketball team. Which I mean that's his choice. He's Bill Self. We never known Bill Self to pick and choose who his guys are on his basketball team. I know that for sure. But I believe that I think that Beard and Storr are a match. Like as kind of I think that Chris Beard can get maybe not what he was at Wisconsin, but he can get more than he was at Kansas.
What makes you think Beard's a good match?
For some words that I don't want to put out there just yet.
What does that mean?
We'll have more AJ Store videos.
Okay. Look, I think Beard's a great coach. I also think Beard is unafraid to like wade into the muck a little bit. And I think, let's be honest about the situation. Let's all put our big boy pants on here. You have to be in the muck a little bit to make AJ Storr work. That's not to say he's an awful player, awful person, but it is to say this. He's a weird locker room guy. That's evident after basically his entire basketball career going back to the prep level. He's a guy who has strange motivations. He's a guy that's got a camp that's involved in this that is sort of steering his decisions. And I think, he's a guy that I would say forces you, if you're going to get the most out of him, to play on AJ Storr's terms. And I think that's where Bill Self couldn't come to terms with that. Bill Self is like, dog, I'm Bill Self. Like you play a role for me. This is Kansas. You fit in where you get in here. And AJ Storr just is incapable of fitting into something bigger. That's not how he operates. Now, you can build a team that wins games around AJ Storr on AJ Storr's terms. Greg Gard did that. Wisconsin won 22 games, finished fifth in a good Big Ten conference, was a 5 seed in the NCAA tournament. Now, they lost to a 12 seed in the first round of the NCAA tournament, but Storr was awesome that year. He was pretty efficient. He only shot 32% from three, which I still think he's capable of better than that. But like all in all, he was an alpha go-to guy. But make no mistake, you watch Wisconsin that year, how they used him, how they operated around him. Every single possession had Storr's fingerprints on it. They
Mm.
played like he's our alpha everything. We've got this centric superstar and we're going to win through him. I think that's the only way AJ Storr returns to that sort of mold. I don't think there's a world where Storr is just like one of your guys out there. He's either the guy or it's not working. And it is interesting to me that this is the landing spot because I think part of what worked for Ole Miss last year is that they didn't really have the guy. I mean, Padula became that when needed. Obviously, in the NCAA tournament, he was stellar. But like one of the best things about Ole Miss last year that worked so well is their balance. They had six different guys average 10 points a game. Any given night, it felt like it was Malik Dia or Jalen Murray or Dre Davis or Morrell. Anybody could be the best player on the team. I don't think Storr will ever operate in that ecosphere. Like either Storr's playing great and he's everything, or Storr's not working and you don't need Storr. Is that a fair way to frame what they're heading into, you think?
So I think it is, and this is the thought that comes to my head, and might be good, might be bad. You decide what it is. AJ Storr is a good player if you mold things for that are specific to AJ Storr. Like I think that he can be successful. The issue is, yes, you might win, but there's a certain ceiling on making AJ Storr a player who has his fingertips on every single part, every single possession offensively of the game. Is that fair to say?
We interrupt this sleepers video to talk directly to you, our loyal listener. Have you ever found yourself watching us two idiots thinking, hey, I wish there was a very easy, small way for me to show a token of my appreciation for all of their hard work on all these videos I love to watch? Well, now we have just the way to do that.
Thanks to the beautiful folks over at Underdog Fantasy. They are helping us out this month, presenting a lot of the content coming out this month, giving you a chance with a amazing offer that you can use using our promo code that Gregory will tell you more about.
Yeah, so college hoop season's over, but we got like big time golf tournaments. The NBA playoffs are coming. Baseball season's underway. There's still a bunch of sports on. There's still a bunch of ways to play with Underdog Fantasy. Promo code SLEEPERS. As a new customer, you can get up to 1,000 bonus credits plus a free pick. It's one of the most fun ways to play. It's a great way to support us. And on some actual like non-ad read stuff, talking genuinely here, really helps us because if Underdog loves us, if we get a lot of people to sign up, they're going to help us continue to bring you the content that you love. Show your support. Join Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code SLEEPERS. Get up to $1,000 in bonus credits and a free pick. I think that's fair.
Yeah, but because I mean they won at Wisconsin. They were successful, right? I think they if I remember correctly, they started off super hot and kind of tempered a little bit towards February, late February into March. But yeah, it's just I think that it is interesting fit in this case. Like you said, there were a lot of guys last year on Ole Miss that stepped up. Like I know Padula was a guy that stepped up as himself in a lot of moments, but the Davises of the world, even that guys that came off the bench like Brakefield, where it would have moments. It was a very team oriented, everyone pitch in type of basketball. Not necessarily AJ Storr's game, but maybe if they have AJ Storr, they change that up a little bit. If there's a coach that can change up, and I think is good enough as a basketball coach to do so, I think Chris Beard is in that mold.
Let's also just be honest about this. So I'm gonna shit on him. I'm gonna sound like I'm shitting on him. Every single place that AJ Storr has left in his college career has gotten better the next year after AJ Storr has left. I just think that's part of the story here. St. John's was 18 and 15, 7 and 13 in the Big East with AJ Storr as a promising freshman. The next year they were fifth in the Big East, went 20 and 13, had a legitimately good season. Wisconsin 22 and 14, 11 and 9, fifth in the Big Ten. We're acting like that was a really good year. Next year they go 27 and 10, finish fourth in the Big Ten. John Tonji was amazing. Much more team-oriented basketball there. We'll see what happens to Kansas. My strong assumption would be that Kansas follows up the worst year of Bill Self's tenure with a better season without AJ Storr.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, and you even go back to the reasons why he left St. John's. It was
yeah.
it was basically because Ricky P said, "Yeah, no, like you can't be that here. You can be on the team, but you can't be that here." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm good."
Yeah, respectfully, one by one by one, Rick Pitino, Bill Self. Greg Gard made him work, but again, the team got better once he left. But Rick Pitino and Bill Self both being like, this didn't work is probably all I would need to be like, I don't want to mess with that.
Mhm.
Um, Can I throw a comp out that I think you might hate that's to another Mississippi school in a transfer this past year?
Possibly.
AJ Storr might just be souped up Riley Kugel.
That's not the worst.
It's not the worst guy, but like if all works, don't you just want him like not in a big role?
You just want him to have mo moments. Like he had a moment in the NCAA tournament where he helped them out. They lost, but like he was. Actually, I'm sorry. Did they win their first? No, they lost.
No, they lost. AJ Storr is 0-2 in the NCAA tournament,
That's tough.
losing both times as the higher seed.
Yeah, not a good look.
One thing I will say, it makes sense for Chris Beard to take this gamble given all he lost. Because he's trying to replace basically all of those really balanced veteran dudes that we loved. You kind of got to start from scratch, and I think if you're Chris Beard, you got to bank on somebody to come in and be the superstar.
And if you fill up the team like you want to, you can pull a Bill Self. Maybe now, hopefully, you're more successful. But when I mean pull a Bill Self, is that you have some flexibility to be like, okay, let me rein it in with Mr. Store here.
Yeah, for sure. And truthfully, like looking at last year, when you try to explain like why did it not work at Kansas, Store was just bad. 38% from the floor, 29% from three, more turnovers than assists. What are you supposed to do with that guy? Now, I would argue like Bill Self not giving him a role early clearly damaged his psyche, and you got like a very damaged version of AJ Storr all season. So I don't put it all on Storr. I put some of it on Self for sure. But like I kept waiting for the moments where like Storr would make it clear that Self was messing up and that he deserved more minutes. He never really delivered those throughout the season. So hard to blame anybody really here other than Storr. Self maybe a little bit, but Chris Beer will have one more chance. AJ Storr will have one more chance to revive his career before it's done. Give me a prediction. What will Storr's averages look like? And maybe more importantly, how good will Ole Miss be?
I still need to see how Ole Miss roster plays out. They got some work to do. Um, I'm going to say that he'll average 13 points on 40% from the field and 33% from three.
Feels like he'll play like 26 minutes a game, score 11 or 12 points a game. Beard will kind of use him as this alpha scorer when he's on the court, but not play him the whole game. And Ole Miss will be a bubble team.
He'll have a season high of 37 though.
One really big night against like Kentucky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at Rupp.